qualified to talk about it, I suppose, because EU does this on all of the maps in some cases.
Yeah.
Like to run without the Sage. In TSM's case, Mo, it boils down to operator play, because operators are super strong on this map. Double operators especially is very much what you deem meta in some cases. So having a double control as a Brimstone and Omen means that you have smokes to take control of mid. You can bully the defending team quite frequently. And from there, it's just super difficult from that to take the engagement, I suppose. So this is going to be a real baptism of fire, I think, for this Cloud9 team. Looking better and less inconsistent than we've seen previously, but this is a hell of a task for them to try and beat this one out.
Definitely. So Tenz in company right now of Team Cloud9 will be on the defender side, the side that they choose first, because this is going to be TSM's map pick. Now on the attack, close range first fight will be Tenz getting the first pick here onto Subroza with the Ghost. That opens up this mid side and also the catwalk, which is why you see the Spike also falling back here at the same time to try to support towards mid to regain control of this area.
The door's closing, so Cloud9 are a little bit hesitant, I suppose, when it comes to this A Executor. It's going to be a bit of a peak, though, but Relyks losing the battle in mid is kind of big. It even forces the Sage wall out very early, which in a pistol round is super expensive. It's like buying a new iPhone with how much money it can sort of take up. So this is a lot of pressure immediately put onto Cloud9, but I think this is where Tenz relishes. And he starts up with a nice headshot onto Cutler, gets a third kill. Does he really need to add much more? Not really. Shinobi is there to help. And a great start for Cloud9 winning this pistol round. I'm not quite sure whether it's attacking or defending favored, but I think no matter what, it's basically what side TSM are playing on. That's what side it favors, it feels like.
And at least, we talk about play style for the teams, right? It's not really about sides, it's about compositions, it's how you feel playing as a comp on a certain map too, and how it adapts to more maps you play versus teams. So far, when you're looking at it from Cloud9's point of view, they probably believe that it's more defender-sided, which is why they started here on the defender side, of course. Door closing early. I like the fact that they could focus early onto the main entrance. So even they had a paranoia coming in from TSM, it was nice cyber cages to come up and just make sure that the crossfire was just focused on that front A side. So now Mitch gets the first kill onto Drone. This is towards that B side. Even Tenz with the Marshall towards mid is also going to drop Hazed. Nice shark dart there from Shinobi through the window outside the entrance. Subroza, he gets electrified and now picked off. 5-on-2 to continue the round in the first half, and everybody's getting picked off.
I mean, Cloud9 played their advantage. They knew they had guns, so they could play a bit more aggressively. Maybe TSM aren't going to expect it. Effectively, if you win the gun round, the one thing you don't want to happen is to fall victim to some well-placed execute. So just nipping it in the bud, just peeking down B main to get a frag and then backing out. It does enough damage. When TSM don't have the numbers there, it's very difficult, but you would expect that this is where TSM is going to ramp up. They had a slow start in the Charlotte Phoenix game to the point that some people thought that they were just, not really trying, but then they just came out of the gates from that point, looked super strong. So whilst this is the ideal start for Cloud9, there is a bit of a while to go when it comes to sort of winning out not only this map, but the one afterwards, as this is a best of 3. Yeah,
and this has become so one-sided and cliche now as a strategy on the defender side. Having a Silva inside B, lobbing also the arrow, the recon arrow towards the B entrance, has the Odin out because it's pretty much that weapon and the operator that could wallbang through that thick wall of brick wall, to get some picks towards his B main. So he didn't get anybody there to start, so Shinobi's going to fall back and look for the owl drone. He's going to spot one here, maybe try to respray across in his spawn as well. But you can see how the round is so slow.
Paranoia combination with Mitch could have been super clutch there to get the kill onto Subroza. The paranoia hits, but Mitch just can't peek around the corner too much, and him not dying there is much more important. But Tenz now under a lot of pressure, does get hit by the paranoia, but is holding close with the shorty. Having a Marshall for fighting long distance too, like you sort of tend to see in this position, fighting mid, but Tenz has the knowledge that they are around mid, they're not pushing Cubby, so that must mean that they are pushing towards B potentially, at least more likely. Hazed is doing that, taking up all this space, but you could see that the sober Shinobi is watching it like a hawk and knows that that could be a place that they're punished.
And that's what I really like about Cloud9 too. They're not afraid of closing the door early and just turtle into the site. Give the middle, let's fight after. But it's still going to be Drone that gets the opener inside that site. Mitch in the back of the B gets that kill onto Drone, so there's still a defender back there. He gets the backstab onto Wardell. I guess it was missing communication. At least we'll get the spike down. 2 guys alive from both teams as the retake comes in from Vice and from Tenz. Tenz only at 10 HP, trying to spray through the paper wall of the sheds, but they're all hiding, both of them, very passively in the back of the site. Camera is also up by Cutler. It's going to be double spy cams. They're going to see each other here. Even a Molly to come out to just focus on one side of the defense here. Tenz now gets wall banged by Cutler. Vice is moving down. It's traded off. He does only have a Spectre. Now this 1 versus 1. I love this. Look at that. A trap wire to just focus here towards that right side. Gets the headshot and comes in with the clutch. He should have enough time for the defuse. And this will be now 3-0 in favor of Cloud9.
Nice retake there. Tricky when your team's solo mid. You push onto the site, you get the plant down. Where do you go? It really forced them to sort of back up into the boat room. And from there, Cloud9 could just slowly but surely take the space away from them. It was a bit of an odd play where there was 2 players left on TSM. I think it would have been Subroza that just sort of ran into no man's land, which made it a super easy first kill for Vice at least. And then in that 1v1, he places down the tripwire. It actually catches off Wardell completely, and it was an easy defuse from there. So this is a great start from Cloud9. They're looking really decent here, and they just want to see if that continues, because that's been Cloud9's problem. We know that the talent's there, but it's not showing up consistently. Mitch being one of those players I think gets a lot of the flack, and he starts off great with a double kill, and TSM not really going to have much when it comes to guns. Going to have to give up this round 2, you bet.
Man, you're going to see this position. It looks very difficult right now for TSM. Look at how everything is working for Cloud9. So they have the Odin towards that B main. You have Tenz here on this catwalk with the Judge, which is probably the best gun you could have towards this catwalk. Hold close range as a Jet. You could dash forward, tailwind against your opponents face-to-face. Look at the amount of damage he does there onto Cutler as Relyks steals a kill. But it's going to be hard for them to penetrate towards this beast line and towards the catwalk. They have the operators, the agents right now for TSM to take this mid control with the Brimstone and the Omen. But after that, they can't really cross down towards those sides. They can't do those splits. So having these executions towards this mid side, I think, should be the best bet for them so far.
It feels very much more like how a Counter-Strike map would be played. It feels with this map. A lot of people have compared it to Cash, for example. You know, Volcano being one of the designers on that map and one of the lead map designers in this game. So it's fair to see where that inspiration came from. But it's all mid-control. Sniper rifles being really strong here. Maybe not as much on the other maps, but certainly double operate is a strong strategy that I think... I don't know about you guys in Twitch chat, but I think a lot of people want to see the sniper rifle nerfed. But these guys having to play at the top of gears. It needs a scope noise. That's all I think it really needs. Just every time somebody scopes into it, like Counter-Strike, it makes a noise so you know roughly where they're going to be. Relyks, though, he doesn't know where people are going to be, so he's hiding within his own smoke. Has the paranoia, and there's a nice line of fire to throw it down, but Wardell, with said operator, gets the first kill onto Mitch towards B.
Finally, this is what they needed to open things up here. And I remember listening to Taylor, the coach of TSM, the head coach, saying, why do they have this composition going stageless as well? Well, let's talk about it a little bit later, because I think the action's going to start soon. They're closing this door. Yeah. You saw that Cloud first come up as well. So Jet here, as the Tenz, was trying to look through to see if he could spot some legs while this execution is happening. But you have a Paranoid that's coming through. Jet has actually come out with the blade storm. That's the first right click, and it's straight off by Subroza. The Odin is coming through and spraying through the smoke, but it's going to be Vice that runs out. Shinobi still gets the frag. Relyks with the wall bang. Now coming from A main. It's going to be a 1 versus 1. Still so much time left on the clock, and Relyks wins the fight. A headshot onto Cutler. And we have now 5 unanswered rounds from Cloud9 versus TSM.
What a great start for this. Certainly if you're a neutral fan and want to see a hell of a game, this is a great start to it. TSM not warming up just yet, but they do have a few ultimates available. In fact, they're all coming online for near enough everybody. Interested to see how they use it, whether the money's going to be good enough for them to buy up again. But the way that Cloud9 are holding on this defense, controlling key areas of the map like Cubby, was really decent. It was a nice play from Tenz with the ultimate to bring it up, but I really liked the hiding in the smoke peak when it came out. I don't think Tenz was really expecting it, but yet again, the damage is already done. Tenz starts off just straight out of the gates, gets the frag onto Drone, and there's no resurrect on this side of TSM either, so they just have to 4 versus 5 it.
Yeah, they have 4 ults, but so many of them are low HP already. Look at the Brimstone. Subroza down to about 40%. And you also have Wardell down about 10-15%, so they don't really have what it takes to try to get the execution unless they want to use the ultimates to their favor. Usually a run it back would be nice, but losing drones so early in the round is a huge detriment. Definitely there, that did not work out in their favor. Hazed loses the fight versus Relyks, and just to talk a little bit about that previous round, I'm surprised Cutler didn't win that one. He's usually known as a Clutchler in CSGO, but he definitely didn't win that 1v1. Now with this garbage time, everybody dies with pistols here for TSM as they are on this eco. Subroza only with the Sheriff, looking to get some one-shot headshots with the Odin going head-to-head.
I can see the Odin through the silhouette just in its own right. Look at that. That's a big gun. Look at it. Look how long it is. Subroza, though, these Sheriffs have done quite a lot of damage. Might ruin the economy a little bit for Cloud9, but considering they won the last 5 rounds, I think money's not going to be too much of a problem there. Subroza trying to line up the headshot of the Tenz, but tries to take a little bit too long. Tenz gets a headshot from distance, and you would expect Tenz to always have a decent game, even the games that they lose, but 11-2... I think when it comes to individual talent in this region, I think I know who the best player in the world might be. Just a hint.
Yeah, no, they definitely got some skills here in North America, and so watch out, Ryan and everybody else in Europe. G2, North America is coming for you. Anyways, 6-0 so far here in this matchup, and things are looking very grim for TSM. Thankfully, though, they have 5 alive, it's a gun round, and they also all have ultimates. So this is actually going to give them a chance to at least put one onto the board. And it starts off, though, look at this. They actually have somebody hidden in wine, but they tagged it out, so they know exactly that the Omen is actually hidden in there, and that should be Relyks playing that spot. The Paranoia is going to come out. The double peaks, oh, actually, it's going to be a dark cover, so that's even better. That's going to give a chance here for him to try to fall back, but he's even staying at the same place. Finally, the shrouded step to be able to walk away.
It just forces out a bit of utility. It could have been disaster for Cloud9 at that point, but look at all of this pressure onto the A site. C9 are watching all of these angles like a hawk. The run it back being used up near enough instantly. It forces Mitch to boost away, like manages to try and catch him up. But Relyks as well has been doing so well. Just consistent work as like the support controller. Drone now trying to hold on this side, but he's the only one in that corner. Hazed able to do so much, but gets traded. Tenz even spraying into smoke, still gets those frags, but now it's Wardell and Drone, the last alive in this 2 versus 3. Now it's only up for the Sova, and he has it all to do.
Well, we do have a Hunter's Fury and a Neural Theft now for the defenders, and even a res. So even if Tenz wants to, he could res towards his catwalk side and put one up so they could get a 4 versus 1. Actually, they're dead very close to Wardell, so we're just going to play more passively here for Cloud9. Wardell's now creeping in, 23 seconds left on the clock. He could at least... Okay, he's going to go for a fake plant. Even a Shark Dart, a Recon Arrow to come out as well. Even a Hunter's Fury. He spots the legs of Mitch, but Mitch does get the wall bang. And now it is 7 unanswered rounds in favor of Cloud9 versus TSM. Somebody's got to wake up soon.
They did need to. They don't want to lose the first map. It'd be great to go down to all the 3 maps at least, but this isn't ideal for TSM. They need to sort of wake up a little bit, but everybody on Cloud9 seems to be pulling their weight. Relyks is the other fully signed player in this roster alongside Tenz.
Yeah.
You don't typically sort of expect those kind of like supporting controller kind of players to be doing as well, but he's holding his own to an extent. Like, he's pretty much gone 1-1, so it might not look it on the scoreboard, but he's winning some clutch moments, and really not everything is down to the scoreboard in its own right? Like, it's not just getting all of the frags, but I mean, if you're Tenz, it's that as well when it comes to the clutch power. But nobody's having a bad game. Everybody's doing their role on Cloud9, and it's making it super tricky for TSM, even with all of the ultimates and guns that they've had. They can't push on in.
Now it's just going to be this eco as they're trying to rush through, but Mitch as that Sage, sorry I called him Tenz before, but it is Mitch putting that frost orb towards that ground that slows them in their tracks, and it's already 3 people set up there on the defense. It's going to be so hard. Even Shinobi mowing them down with that Odin. And do you see that in Europe here, Ryan? Odin play with the spray on Ascent?
No, not yet. I know that's a very Sinatra thing to be doing, and that's the nice part about it, I suppose. It's just... like, for example, you have for breaking an EU with the whole Sageless comps all of the time. TSM are doing it, obviously, here too, where it's There's no, oh, we know what the meta is. This is how you play the game. It's just these guns, this comp, all of the time. Play it this way. There's still a lot to learn. And if there's a use for the Odin to be used like this, sort of anchoring the B site like Shinobi's been doing, it's been used, it's been exploited, and TSM don't have an answer for it, and they tend to have an answer for a lot of stuff.
And it's looking to back to a default here for TSM, right? You see that Hazed is still trying to lurk forward to try to work towards his catwalk/mid, and a 2-2 kind of split here to start things off on a B opening this time. But Tenz this time has the operator as that jet. He's playing it more passively himself as well. As he didn't see anything towards that catwalk, you see him slowly rotate back towards his spawn to see if he needs to support towards mid.
Right now it seems that the spike's going to get cargoed towards mid. Dropped off yet again by Subroza. So they're still trying to decide where to go. Cloud9 have bolstered mid. They're playing it very far back. They're playing it very passively. They have the resurrect. So if somebody dies a bit too close to where TSM are placed, they can't get that resurrect. So if somebody dies like in the placement, I suppose, where Relyks is now, it's not too much of a problem. They can take this passively, they're wasting a lot of time. Relyks is teleported over to B to see if that's where the execute's coming in. They only spot the Phoenix, so they don't have much information when it comes to what site's going to be hit. This is looking decent for TSM, but they're looking really indecisive when it comes to how they want to play this.
Yeah, because of the information, and he saw Drone. Drone got the kill. They said, look, they probably think it's only one person towards B with Drone playing the lurk. Let's actually go back and execute towards B. So Subroza is already throwing the smoke. He's also going for the orbital strike here for the team to move forward inside the site. But there's only 12 seconds left on the clock. Shinobi gets killed while he's paranoid, and Mitch is now inside that site. There's no time left on that clock. He kills the spike here. Relyks with the last kill onto Subroza. A two-man hold. So fully denied here for Cloud9 against TSM, and it's now 9-0. Who would have thought so far here in this matchup, best out of 3, TSM versus Cloud9, that on TSM's map pick, it's 9-0 for Cloud9 right now?
There's only 4 words that I can say about this. Is it 4
Together
words?
or terrific?
No, I was going to say, haha, Odin go brr. That's really like Shinobi has just found so much use with this gun. Sinatra's probably watching this game. He's playing a lot later on thinking, what have I created? What have I done? Like, it's such a strong strategy, right? Because that door is so wall bangable that if anybody tries to push onto the B site, they're just going to get sprayed down. They're going to take some form of damage. Which works, I suppose, with how Cloud9 are playing this defense, because he are stacking more towards the A site. Tenz almost gets caught out, dashing into the door frame. Nice bonk on the noggin for him. But this is comfortable. This B site isn't really being exploited. A drone's been lurking over there for the last few rounds now, but he just can't get anything done.
Yeah, they need to, right? They need to set a presence somewhere so that Cloud9 doesn't go for any aggressive pushes or any stacks anywhere either. So they have to keep him honest on the position, so it's totally fine. I think when it comes down to who can you break down, that's the question.
Relyks.
Yeah, he's walking through this dark cover. He does get the headshot onto Subroza, and his teammates are too far behind. I mean, Hazed was there, but it's dark covered, so he couldn't really run in. Or sorry, it's Wardell that was there, but he has a spike. And now he even loses a spike from a 1-versus-1 battle there to Relyks.
I don't know what these guys have eaten for breakfast, but it's just...
Let's not get on that topic again.
Let's not go back onto the wheelies again, please. But it's just like every fight the TSM find themselves in, just like a 1v1 engagement. They look like days in the head, like, huh? What? There's somebody in the smoke? And then they just die. Relyks has just been winning a lot of these engagements. There's another one. It's a headshot. It's through the wall. His placement's good. Hazed wasn't expecting it. This is uncharacteristically awful from Team Solo Mid. And Cloud9, it's like... we mentioned Space Jam yesterday. It's the whole basketball taking the talent scene. It's like they look like two separate teams, like the flip sides.
And that's what I love to see, actually. I love to see this, actually. This becomes like a good storyline for Cloud9, too. And I saw that Jack was in the chat, too. Maybe, Jack, it's time to sign the other 3 guys. What do you think?
It's tricky because this is the problem, right, for Cloud9, where it's kind of like we need to make sure that we sign our perfect team. Not for right now. These tournaments are important, but it's about a year's time, 2 years' time. We want to keep Tenz and the best players surrounding Tenz for the next 5 years when there's like a Valorant League or whatever the hell happens next. That's the end game. Right, so they don't have these players signed. They need to make sure that they have the best players that they can possibly get. Meanwhile, TSM are very happy with their lineup, so they're just getting better and better, right? So it's a bit of a problem. And this is the first time that Team Solid Mid have come in guns blazing, but yet again, Tenz is going to be the response.
Yeah, I thought Vice was going to get more than one because that molly went deep down towards Hell, but he actually didn't get burnt, so he was going to be able to backstab a lot. But to sum it up, we have a 2 versus 2. The Spike's still inside that site, and there's only one holding towards that top. And it's going to be Shinobi with that Odin, a Cyber Cage that's going to make some noise. Cutler's going to bang him through the Cyber Cage and get the headshot. 2 versus 1. We're finally going to see the first point, maybe on the scoreboard. A self-heal coming in for Mitch. The Spike is now planted. Shark Dart coming through, down to 24. He does have a wall on top of that, too. A recon arrow to come out. He's going to wall towards that front. 1 versus 1 towards that hell side, and Cutler finally wins it here for 3K into this round. Rip the 13-0 dream, and TSM puts one on the board.
I know it sounds ridiculous, but Cloud9 needs to be like, okay, let's not throw this one, guys, because I can still see Team Solo Mid coming back here, especially when they switch sides. Maybe Cloud9 just have a really tricky time on attack. We don't know that. Like, I think of all of the maps on Split that I've seen where it's like 12-0 on a half, and then it goes into overtime when they switch sides, right? So I don't think this is, you know, done and dusted for Cloud9 yet. They are playing against one of the better teams in the world, but that was the only real flash that we saw. Look at the scoreboard, though.
Yeah.
10-1, like that straight from Cloud9. Looks good, and it's in the blue color too. Relyks, though, making it look like 11-1 for this half.
Yeah, Hazed to fall early here, so that's one less smoker for the agents, but at least Subroza ties it up in the situation. No res up there for Mitch either. And Shinobi continues his work with this Odin. Not even watching B-side, goes towards mid, gets the headshot onto Subroza too, then anchors back towards his site. So now everybody from TSM will have to regroup towards mid and try to regain that control.
They have to make a decision. A lot of teams falter at this point as we get later on into the round, 40 seconds in or so. But look how much it's opening up on the A site. They can just go to Cubby and it's free, and they're going to have drone using to run it back. And I don't think anybody on C9 hears the movement. So they're just paroling around, maybe now spotting it. It's going to be Tenz that has to be sort of first contact there or wait for his team lineup. Vice is going to catch Drone lurking, but Drone yet again is like, huh? What? I didn't expect somebody to be there, and gets caught out completely. Cloud9 are on the prowl.
That's right, and Tenz is already close, running through the smoke. He does get the wall bang onto Wardell, leaving only one player remaining. It's going to be Cutler, and he is stopped with not a single kill. And that is going to be the defuse coming in for Tenz. The key player right now for Cloud9 at 18-5-3, followed by Mitch at 12-6. But overall, the half is 11-1.
Everybody's been kicked out of the game. It's just Tenz versus Cutler, but I mean, the top fraggers from both the sides. Clutchler, not so much. Wardell doesn't miss, but it feels like he's been missing in this game. It just hasn't seen those like bright spark moments that we all know and love, right? It just feels like Cloud9 have stopped it before it happened. The one round that we saw TSM win there was Subroza just running onto the A site, not giving a heck, and just coming in and just headshotting somebody, opens up the game for them. But right now it looks like it's Cloud9 that are the ones that are playing with more confidence and not looking as tense, I suppose it would be. Tenz just has that freedom, running through his own smokes to get frags, catching TSM completely off guard. If they can play like this on attack, then this is going to finish very quickly.
Well, the pistol round is now underway here with Relyks and company of Cloud9 now taking the attacker side. Can it be now that TSM could make the comeback now that they're on the defender side? But 11-1, you're falling behind by a lot here. It's going to be a very steep hill to climb to try to catch up in this matchup. Spike now being picked up, as you can see him walking slowly towards his B side, but we are still having lurks all around towards his mid, and a very far back Cypher, actually. So you could see that they're maybe going to look for a split for a mid to B towards the mid round.
Setup is looking very tight on the A site, but it's going to be B. A side that was near enough untouchable, really, when it comes to Cloud9 with the Odin, but there's no Odins available just yet. So it has to be patient play.
Yeah.
Like Mitch, the fact that he looks like he's going to be entry fragging on the Sage is a bit puzzling, but TSM just want to buy some time, you know, have Shinobi make a lot of ruckus on A, like, hey guys, we're going over to A, I'm going to shoot this door, I'm going to throw my arrows out, we're over here guys, look at me, and then they move on to B with the rotate coming in, but look at this, like Cloud9 aren't moving, they know that this spot is looking likely, they throw out a bit of utility to stall it even more, and now all that time that TSM have had available to them is starting to burn down, and they have to just get onto the site now.
Yeah, but like a Shinobi's position, he gets the headshot onto Hazed, so he catches her with inside the site that have to hold it down. It's going to be Drone and Cutler. First one to fall is the Spike. There's only 7 seconds left. Cutler has to stay alive here, but unfortunately Tenz pushes in and kills him. Now the spike will get planted. It's going to be now a 3 versus 1. Subroza moving in towards B main. First one spotted. Tenz now on the staircase of the shed. Another one towards the market, and that is going to be Relyks breaking the door open. But now with Subroza at 9 HP, going to be pretty much impossible being spammed all the way here because of this ghost all the time. Gets tagged on top of that too. It is going to be, no matter what at this point, map situation, map point for Cloud9 as Subroza is moving through, but the dream is pretty much not there. Yes, he gets the kill onto Shinobi, but they're already set up for a trade.
I was thinking it was going to happen, and then never mind. And this might just be a bit of a throwaway map for TSM. I don't think they're going to be two-faced. It's like, oh god, that was bad. But I can imagine their play onto Bind and Haven, which are going to be the next maps upcoming in this best of 3. No split, which is a shame because I was enjoying casting all the split yesterday, 3 times in a row. Why? It sounds amazing, right?
Yeah,
guys?
we got 2 out of 3.
Oh, like why just split, man? Like we don't see it an awful lot, but TSM look good there. I imagine their Bind and Haven is going to be up to par 2. So if you're TSM, you're bound to lose in map, it feels at this point, but I don't think you're going to be too worried. There's a bigger game happening here. But if they could bring it back on Ascent, that would be something else.
For sure. And now it's going to be a nice shot from Hazed, actually, on it to Relyks towards his mid side, so he decided to push through his own dark cover. And now we have Jet coming in with the Judge Jetty, getting the headshot onto Subroza, trying to clear out the site. Wardell still holding by the sliding door, breaks the camera, so his position's given away, and Mitch wins that fight against him. So now, a 4 versus 3, with the spike about to go down, and they have nothing to work with. Tenz with the headshot, jumping Judge in the face of Hazed. It's pretty much looking to be here a 13-1 as he continues for 4K for Tenz to seal the deal. Cloud9 dominates TSM on his first map of Ascent.
I mean, people are going to look back at this and go, it was another 10 show he carried, but honestly, I hear all of the complaints from Cloud9's roster. That is a solid team lineup. 24 frags for Tenz, but Mitch, Shinobi, Relyks, all pulling their part. Relyks only got 11 frags, but every single one of those frags that